So Tyrell, tell me about your process during this residency. What have you been doing?
Oh, I've been having a lot of fun. So I've been had a block of paper and just started acting on the paper and then drawing back into it, maybe collaging something on it or
Okay.
transferring it on to. Then I also had some canvas that I transferred imagery onto and then drew back into it. So lots and lots of studies.
And you told me that some of those studies are for much larger paintings. Is that true?
Yeah. I imagine instead of using very small things to make the frottage collage kind of look to it, that I'll take actual canvas that's much larger, and before I stretch it, actually do some drawing on it using the frottage technique, and then stretching it and then painting the drawing.
So the process on the small scale is somewhat similar to the larger scale.
Exactly.
Okay, of transferring and
Making the textures using surfaces and making rubbings from the surfaces, and then painting on it.
So what attracts you specifically about this look because I see a common thread there.
I think I like the atmospheric quality of the imagery because of the way the materials actually change the texture of, sometimes it's very hard to get a texture when you're painting or drawing, or a visual texture, and so I like the idea of actually using texture to pick up the information from, on the surface of the substrate, the paper or the canvas.
Does this kind of image that you've been doing, this texturing, does that relate to any sort of mental process or some kind of memory or do you work with that sort of memories or feelings of specific nature that you want to portray or achieve? Or
It's interesting that you asked that question because it reminds me of dreams. It seems like I'm really interested in how dreams become, show up in the artwork. I used to have this terrible dream that the texture was taking over the world. And then, in the dream I would push it out, smooth it out. And then I would always wake up whenever it was all smoothed out. So it definitely, there's a dream-like quality to the imagery.
And you also told me the other day that you kind of working on some studies for found objects that you work with usually. Did you do any studies here?
I guess all the things I take the textures off of, they are all found objects. And then also when I make jewelry, and some studies, I've started some studies for some jewelry designs. Those will be found objects that will become, three-dimensional forms. So I guess there's some three-dimensional ideas in there somewhere. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question that you asked me yesterday. So what your experience here in Cresci, what was the most significant?
I guess. Well, it's really nice to be here because it's become a familiar place. I feel comfortable here. And that's because these wonderful people, right? They're art angels. But I guess the thing that's really been the most profound to me on this trip has been to to see some fresco paintings. The fresco paintings we saw, I guess that was just last weekend. And just we've seen a number of fresco paintings that I've just been really taken by. Yes.
All right.